Hello there, Tarot Tube and the Tarot Tube Finger Wiggle. So I was doing my morning reading today and I was thinking two things, one of which came up from a meditation that I did when I woke up. And I thought I would share them with you because they're not really just about this deck. They're sort of overreaching thoughts that I had about reading tarot. And I'm going to make two videos and link them together. So one of them is going to be about who gets to tell the story. And the other one is something I'm calling rules light or rules heavy or crunchy, something like that. So first we're going to start with who gets to tell the story. So for the reading I was doing this morning, which is about resiliency, looking at the past and how I can reflect on different things that have happened in my past, I decided to pull this deck because it was on my reading table anyway, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm really loving all the colors. And as I pulled it out and I'm shuffling it, looking at these dragons, I'm thinking, I hope that this is like authentic to the best of my ability to judge what is authentic. Because isn't it true that it's important who's telling the story, right? Because this deck is supposed to be about exploring the ancient traditions of tarot with Japanese spiritualism, right? And I'm thinking, gee whiz, you know, like who is telling this story? And then I look at the name Oliver Luke Delory, I guess, and I'm thinking, all right, that's not starting out great. But look how beautiful it is. And it's really inspiring me, like this never stop asking questions. So I thought, all right, I'm going to have to just take a pause and say, who is telling this story? Because am I going to proceed with this saying, yes, these are really referencing things that are ancient tradition. Whoops. They really are exploring ancient traditions of the tarot with Japanese spiritualism. Or am I just going to accept the fact that I love this deck, I love the artwork and the colors, and let's just see. And I'm just going to have to take it with a grain of salt. You know, who actually wrote it, and does he know what he's talking about? So let's see what we can find out about our author, about the author and illustrator, page 80. Not a lot of information, right? A prolific personal development author well-versed in Eastern philosophy and martial arts. His previously published titles include 100 Small Ways to Quit Worrying, 100 Small Ways to Manage Time, Wabi Sabi, Shinrin Yoku, and Creative Manifestos. He lives on Vancouver Island, Canada, and connect him. And we've got a website. So I'm just making this video right now. But after I look at after I finish creating this video, I'm going to look him up. So you can look in the comment section below and you'll see what I found out about him, whether he knows what he's talking about or not. Mia Komatsu is a Japanese artist currently based in Germany. She specializes in modern, ukiyo-e style illustrations, sorry if I butchered that, and brush and ink calligraphy, but is increasingly experimenting with digital art and photography. Follow Mia on Instagram. Okay, so there are our creators, and why don't we just take a look at one card? So let's take a look at a card that I pulled for myself. So the question I'm asking myself today was, what can I look at in my past that I sort of got through, I survived it, whatever it was, and how can I feel grateful that that thing happened in my past? So these are, I did it with two things, so we're going to look at this one. Okay, let's do this. What happened and how can I feel grateful? There we go. There we go. I got there. So let's just look at these two cards and let's say, okay, who's telling the story? Because there's two stories that are being told here. There's the story I'm telling myself in my reading, and then there's the story that the creators have told in creating these cards. So let's look at the Four of Swords. So I know what the traditional meaning is. Okay, and in this book, it is grouped by suit, not by number. All right, the Four of Swords, rest, solitude, and introspection. So in my case, I'm thinking about the times when I was alone, and that's not what I wanted, not what I had planned on, right? Let's say we don't need the reverse meaning because I pulled it upright. Let's see. Give yourself permission to rest and rejuvenate. Retreat for a period of meditation and introspection for illumination. Insight often only occur when we step back and reflect. A renewed sense of purpose and direction is indicated here, along with a greater appreciation for the beauty and wonder of life arising from stillness. All right, so in my case, I'm thinking of a time when it was enforced stillness, not what I had planned on. And from what I understand, so I'm a limited human being, but this is about, what comes from meditation. So I was kind of forced, in this specific instance I'm thinking of, to deal with being alone, and I did use meditation quite a bit. I was meditating multiple times a day to get through this phase of my life. So for the story that I'm telling, me as a reader, then this is an accurate card to pull. Now, about Japanese spiritualism, I can't tell you because I don't know about how meditation fits into Japanese spiritualism. And my understanding about Japan is there's not just one religion that people follow. So, yeah. And in general, my understanding is that the different spiritual traditions that have been in Japan over the years have influenced each other. So, but I do believe that meditation is part of all the traditions that I am aware of. And, she is kind of floating above these swords. And meditation will it'll do that for you. It will, lifting you up is right, but it'll help you to just sort of be with whatever it is and not interact with it. So to the extent that I understand meditation in Japanese spiritualism, which is imperfect and limited, I would say that this particular card feels like it is an authentic use of one element of Japanese spiritualism. Okay, now let's look at the second card in my reading, which is how do I look back on it and reflect on this period in a way that can help me to feel gratitude and resilience, like, oh yeah, I got through that, and I'm in a strange way grateful that I went through that because now I am stronger, more knowledgeable. It helped me. All right, so that's my story. Let's see about how our deck creators tell their part of the story, which is what this card means, and how that would be consistent with Japanese spiritualism. So here they're saying, or he is saying, Oliver wrote this, the upright meeting, a young Japanese merchant is judging two pentacles, symbolizing balance and stability as he manages both his finances and responsibilities. His red hat signifies that despite any chaos, he remains calm and focused, confident in his ability to dance with infinite challenges that come his way. Try to find joy in your personal or professional lives and handle your resources wisely. Okay. Well, let's just assume that in Japanese cultures, like really any culture, you do have to balance your work and your personal life, and how you manage your resources. As far as whether or not that's a teaching within Japanese spirituality, I would guess that it is. I mean, it kind of is in every world religion that I've looked at. Not that I'm a great scholar, but still. So this feels pretty authentic. And in both cases, the art really looks authentic to me. It's kind of a combination of anime, and I can see some references to some of the older art from Japan, including woodcut stuff, the way elements are portrayed. So yeah, I would say with these two examples that we looked at, it does feel authentic to what they are claiming about the floating world, Japanese spirituality, and it also feels authentic to the story I'm telling about what I'm trying to reflect on, the times that I had to be here, but it taught me how to balance things out. As hard as it was, I did learn how to balance things out. And in reflecting on that, I can feel really grateful that I had to go through that experience. Right. So that is one of the things I look at when I'm looking for authenticity. Let's grab something else that would, I'm looking over here at what's right here on my, okay, let's look at this one. Who's telling the story and how authentic is it? So let's look at this. Let me come out a little bit. Sorry about the, woo, yeah. That didn't make you uncomfortable. So this is one of Angie Sullen's decks. I really like her a lot. So this is woman in total control of herself. So who did this? Is it authentic about a woman in total control of herself? Well, fortunately, I know enough about Angie Sullen's that I can say, yes, she is a witch, and boy, oh boy, is she forging her own unique path. The art by Silas, that is somebody who has partnered with her on a lot of things. So when we look at this, like, is she, I guess I should take this out of the background. Let's not. All right. Is she a witch? Is she talking from a place of experience and knowledge? Is this an authentic voice? So, does this look like authentic art to talk about a witch? So I've already said, yes, unquestionably, she's a witch. She knows what she's talking about. And let's look at these images. Look at this. Yes, I have to say that I really feel like this is what I would consider an authentic deck. Whoops. How did that happen? Yeah. So this one passes my test. Who's telling the story, and are they entitled to tell that story? Let's try one more. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. All right, Secrets of the Ancestors Oracle, 45-card deck, Abiola Abrams. So I have done a couple of workshops with her, virtual, not in person. And does I have a picture of her? Let's see. But let's take a look at this. And let's see, you can see this one's not used as much. I do want to have a picture if possible. No. Okay, but as you can see, this is about, she's saying Secrets of the Ancestors, but clearly it's about a Black person's experience in the world. So is this, why do I have reversals in here? Is this authentic? Does it look like it's an authentic voice? Is an authentic voice? Well, I know what Abiola Abrams looks like. I know what she sounds like. I've heard her talking, for a couple of hours worth of stuff. And I'd say, yeah, this is an authentic voice. Definitely. 100%. So I'm sure you've come across decks in your journeying out there where you're like, I don't know about this, and you're scratching your head and wondering. And I'd say it's a question that's worth asking. Who's creating this deck? Is this an authentic voice? Is this person the right person to tell this story? And I think that is definitely worth asking yourself when you're using your decks that you have, or when you're considering purchasing another deck, or acquiring. I should say acquiring. There's a lot of ways to get a deck, right? Is it an authentic voice? I think that's really important. All right, so the second question that I was wondering about today, or was going to talk about, was rules light or crunchy? Lots of mechanics. So that's going to be another video, and I'll link the two when I post them up so you can go from one to the other. Thanks for watching. If this was interesting to you, hit the like button on your way out. I appreciate every single like that I get, and I especially appreciate the comments, and I try to answer everyone as long as I get the notifications from my dear friend YouTube. Take care. Bye-bye. Find joy.